State Education Officers Forum bestows grand patronship on Deputy Governor. Federal government set to harmonize revenue-generating agencies for optimum productivity. President Tinubu emerges new ECOWAS chairman, urges leaders of member countries to defend rule of law. Stay tuned for details of these and other reports in just a minute. Hello, good morning. Thanks for joining us on the news. My name is Mercy Ekere. Individuals who hurry to erect illegal structures on the right of way with the intent of receiving compensation from government have been advised to desist forthwith. Akbc State Governor Pastor Moino, who handed down the warning at Ikori-Penudo, Nsubium local government area when he attended the interdenominational service in his honor, organized by the people of his hometown. Pastor Moino said government will not pay compensation for such illegal structure. Patience John was at the service and now reports.
While appreciating his people for putting together the Thanksgiving service, Governor Moino advised the people against erecting illegal structures on areas made for government projects, describing such actions as counterproductive. The governor regretted the attitude of some communities that are bent on receiving compensation before allowing projects to be executed in their communities, stating that any community that prevents government from accessing land for development stands the risk of losing such projects.
Let me say, any village, any local government, we are taking development to. Now getting my friend about compensation, we will move away from that place quietly. We are prepared to develop the rural areas. I will not struggle to help my people in this village. But saving the unbroken for a maker, I was soon to make them not even do what I am dog. The man is some before you are coming now. There will be a big compensation of the people will leave. I don't get a lot. The surveyor on gun UFO. Anyone for very I pay compensation. I'm very for now. We talk us here. We talk here. I can report me call we have them back here. Now development
Then the man of the service paid tribute to the next paramount ruler of the area. It even won the jobs for both whom described as a light bearer in the local government that brought some developmental project to the area and prayed for the repose of his soul. The governor was accompanied by his wife, Mrs. Patience Umono, the deputy governor, Senator Okolayarani, the secretary to the state government, Prince Kiwabonwa, members of the judiciary, and political stakeholders. Patience John, Akbc News.
The people of Ikori-Penudo village in Nsubium local government area Sunday went to thank God for the emergence of their son, Pastor Moino, a state governor. The state service, which held at the Apostolic Church, Ikori-Penudo area headquarters, had the wife of the governor, Mrs. Patience Umono, the state deputy governor, Senator Akbc, among other government officials in attendance. Government House reporter Patience John again says the governor was honored with the Joshua Award by the church community.
At the interdenominational service, Governor Moino took the only Bible reading, said it was pertinent to return to his roots to thank God who made him successful at the polls. The governor appreciated clergymen from all the churches in Ikori-Penudo village who came together in prayer and other forms of support that have helped him assume leadership as the governor of the state. the immediate past CAN chairman and chairman of the planning committee for the service, the Reverend Louis Ikwere, thanked God for his blessings on the people of Ikot for giving them their #1 citizen and commended Governor Moino for the programs he has embarked on since he assumed office. He, on behalf of the people, prayed for God's blessings, guidance, and wisdom on the governor. Preaching on the theme of the Thanksgiving, the man after God's heart, the area superintendent of the Apostolic Church Ikot area, Eket Field, Apostle Ezekiel Inyang, likened the governor to the biblical David who was chosen by God to lead his people. He advised the governor to imbibe the virtues of compassion, love, and humility while wishing him success in office.
When God says that thing has to come to pass. Hallelujah. The Bible says God will bring to pass what he has appointed for me.
The Thanksgiving service featured intercessory prayers and thanksgiving by the governor and his entourage. Precious John, Akbc News.
The state deputy governor, Senator Akbc, says the Arise agenda of Pastor Moino's administration has utmost concern and interest in the development of the education sector in the state. Senator Akbc stated this when a delegation of the Akbc State Education Officers Forum, led by the Permanent Secretary, State Secondary Education Board, Barrister Asukwo Selong, called on her. Our Government House reporter Otobi Malkun tells us more.
Addressing the team, Senator Akbc told the forum of the importance of education to the Arise agenda. The deputy governor, while welcoming them, called for an educational summit for the training and returning of teachers in order to educate the younger generation for posterity. She emphasized the need for proper monitoring and supervision for the sector to succeed, explaining that any nation without quality education is bound to fail.
Education is the foundation of everything. It's a process, it's a way where the younger generation, the future leaders, process. It plays an Akbc State, by the special grace of God, has shown great concern towards education. In the time past, and then to crown it up, the right agenda of present administration led by Pastor Moabasi gives education a key role.
The chairman of Akbc State Education Officers Forum, Mrs. Gloria Myang, on behalf of the entire membership of the forum, commended the deputy governor for deeming it important to grant them audience, explaining the belief that as an astute educationist, Senator Akbc will assist the forum for overall success of the sector.
Your Excellency, I will settle down with His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Akbc State, Pastor Moino, for the real witness of delivering democratic dividends for the state. We have come to collaborate as critical stakeholders in the education sector and contribute our quota towards the formulation and articulation of the present educational policy trust.
The Director, State Quality Assurance Service, Mrs. Roslyn Anthony, setting the tone for the visit, said the purpose was to identify as well as congratulate Senator Akbc on her elevation.
But through it all, we have seen the good works that God has used you to do, both in the state, in the nation, and in the world at large. And we celebrate God on your behalf. And we say, thank you and congratulations for the equality mass in our lives. God bless you. Amen. And God keep you.
High point was the induction of Senator Akbc into the forum as a grand patron. Otobi Malkun, Akbc News.
The state deputy governor, Senator Akbc, has sued for peace and harmony among residents and communities in Akbc affected by boundary crisis. Senator Akbc made the call during an interactive meeting with local government chairmen, paramount rulers, and other stakeholders of the affected communities. Again, Utomi Malkun says the meeting held at Akbc Hall. The role of women and girls to global transformation has been emphasized. This came to the fore as the world celebrates the 2023 Population Day on the theme, Unleashing the Power of Gender Equality, uplifting the voices of women and girls to unlock our world's infinite possibilities. The celebration also seeks to highlight the crucial roles that gender equality plays in achieving sustainable development, as well as create a more inclusive and prosperous world for all. Miriam Ipotu in this special report tells us more.
Gender equality remains a pressing issue globally, with persistent disparities and discrimination impacting individuals across all walks of life. World Population Day serves as a reminder that achieving true gender equality is not only a matter of human rights, but also a catalyst for social progress and economic growth.
As far as individuals are concerned, they need a better life, they need a good life, they need to go to school. So the international community to collaborate vehicle to drive home gender equality.
Recognizing the immense potentials that abound in empowering women and girls, governments, organizations, and individuals around the world are joining forces to address the systemic barriers that hinder gender equality.
Because I believe, first and foremost, let's look at it from the perspective of God. Okay, God created both man and woman, you understand? In the sight of God, we are equal, so nobody is inferior, nobody is less of a human, you understand? So I believe that we can be, be ruling and be winning together, as man and woman, so nobody is less of a human being.
By promoting equal access to education, healthcare, economic opportunities, and decision-making positions, societies can unlock the full potentials of half of the population.
The society change. Even an opportunity, we don't suffering. I really much believe keep an and the society. And your phone and I get it when and then because of the experience in the world.
And well-being. Alright, safety is every man's issue. But I really think the tradition, our tradition and culture places women more where they are secure.
On World Population Day, we celebrate the strides made towards gender equality while acknowledging that there is still much work to be done. Efforts to eliminate gender-based violence, ensure reproductive rights, close the gender gap pay, and challenge harmful gender norms are essential to creating a more just and equitable world.
The most important thing is that what to do. When we have a morally, spiritually oriented woman, sometimes they say father involvement and mother involvement in the society.
By unleashing the power of gender equality, we can foster innovation, drive economic growth, and build sustainable communities.
Every man and every woman have their own differences. I think the male child and the men also should be assisted equally. However, the weak nature of women does not really make them weak. They are very strong. Where they are strong is what makes them women. Men are strong in what makes them men.
Some believe when women and girls are given equal opportunities to thrive, they can contribute fully to society, break cycles of poverty, and shape a brighter future for themselves and future generations.
I'm so happy about the Supreme Court judgment that said there is no way you can determine and share a family's property without a recourse or considering the interests of the women.
Men and women are actually the same because we women are also human beings. Men too are human beings, so we are the same.
As we mark World Population Day, let us stand committed to dismantling gender inequality by promoting a world where every individual, regardless of their gender, can reach their full potentials. By working together, we can create a world that will cherish and value the contribution of its members. From the popular Ibon Plaza, Miriam Ekpotu, Akbc News.
We had earlier told you that the State Deputy Governor, Senator Akbc, has sued for peace and harmony among residents and communities in Akwa Ibom affected by boundary crisis. Senator Yayi made the call during an interactive meeting with local government chairmen, paramount rulers, and other stakeholders of affected communities. Otabima Kun says the meeting held at Akwa Hall, Government House, Uyo.
Boundary Committee. Senator Yaranyi, while addressing the people, noted that boundary, interstate and land issues, if not properly handled, led to loss of lives and properties. She said it is our responsibility to interface with people and see how best each issues can be resolved peaceable, having noticed that about 21 issues in the handing over note from our predecessor. She explained that the new administration, led by Pastor Moino, pushes against bloodshed and communal skirmishes.
This is my first interactive meeting of the Boundary Committee that by the special grace of God, I serve as the chairman. Akwa Ibom State is known as a state that loves peace. Peace has been there, and we will, as a new administration, do everything humanly possible to ensure that we continue to maintain peace in our various local governments, in our various communities, between brother and sister. We are all one.
Maiden meeting attended by 78 persons, including chief security officers, 18 youth leaders drawn from various local governments in the state, featured interactions by chairmen, paramount rulers, and stakeholders.
Let me also salute your board initiative. Let us know that we have unfettered access to you as far as the issue of boundary dispute settlement is concerned. Well, as council chairman, we are always available, always ready to play our role to ensure we have a peaceful local government. Because if we don't have peace in our different LGAs, a lot of distractions, a lot of attention would have been spent on some other thing other than development. I would suggest where there is no permanent solution immediately, I think it is best that government will step in and take over such immediately, rather than waiting for too long.
I would appreciate if you could encourage the chairpersons in these two local governments to take involvement so that we could bring this issue to an end.
So, let me not go far. We shall come and see Her Excellency and brief her so that she may know where His Excellency is from. The former Deputy Governor, I believe she will build on that and it will build it better for us to have peace in it. So thank you.
One of the security operatives in the state said they were on the same page with the state government to ensure that peace was maintained in the state.
We are the same frequency with the state government
Chima Okun, Akbc News.
The federal government is set to integrate the activities of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agencies, NIMASA, and the Federal Inland Revenue Service agencies in Nigeria. The special advisor to the President, Bola Tinubu, Zak Adedeji, disclosed this Monday to newsmen, saying that government will double the country's total annual revenue, which is currently below 15 trillion naira, by deepening the nation's revenue collection system and not by adding extra taxes. According to the President's revenue chief, Nigeria has a revenue problem, expressing the hope that the current administration will tackle the challenges through fiscal discipline and harmonization of revenue channels using technology to view all government revenue generating agencies in real time. Adedeji clarified that the Tinubu administration is not going to collapse revenue generating bodies like the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, the Federal Inland Revenue Service, and the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency. Rather, he said it will use technology to integrate all revenue in real time and remove any form of government within government. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has urged leaders of the West African sub-region to work towards achieving peace as well as defending democracy. President Tinubu, who was unanimously elected as chair of the 60-nation Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, at the 63rd Ordinary Session of the Authority of Heads of States and Government of the sub-region, reflected on the threat to peace in the region, which has reached alarming proportions with terrorism. The president unfolded his agenda for elaborate socio-economic plans for the sub-region and encouraged trade and investment among member states. President Tinubu said Nigeria will organize a trade and investment summit in October to drive home the importance of private sector-led economic growth in the sub-region. The ECOWAS chairman called for improved private sector participation in efforts towards the economic development of member states as well as their social integration. Meanwhile, former Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari has congratulated President Bola Tinubu on his emergence as the new chairman, Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. According to his spokesperson, Garba Shehu, this was announced during the 63rd Ordinary Session of the Authority of Heads of States and Governments of ECOWAS, held in the Republic of Guinea-Bissau. Buhari expressed excitement on the news, emphasizing on the significant responsibility placed on President Tinubu's shoulders. The former Nigerian president urged the citizens to support President Tinubu, expressing optimism that he will not disappoint the people. He prayed the Almighty God guide President Tinubu's tenure towards the restoration of ECOWAS as a stronghold of democracy, good governance, and a leader who will combat terrorism and climate change across the continent. In sports, Akwa United have qualified for semi-finals of the Super 8 tournament in Lagos. The team defeated Yobe Stars 2-1 in their first match and piped Rivers United 1-0 to achieve defeat. Akwa United will take on Lobi Stars today in a less than important match. Uchenna Collins scored the only goal of the match. In the other group matches, Remo Stars shared points with 0-0. Yobe Stars similarly played a scoreless with Lobi Stars. And that's a package this morning. But just before we go, a quick reminder of some of our headline stories. I told you that individuals will hurry to erect illegal structures on right-of-way with the intent of receiving compensation from government have been advised to desist forthwith. Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Moino handed down the warning at Ikodegunudo, Nsrubim local government area, when he attended an interdenominational service in his honor. We also told you that the State Deputy Governor, Senator Akone Yanyi, says the Arise agenda of the Umoino administration has utmost concern and interest in the development of the education sector. Senator Yanyi stated this when a delegation of the Akwa Ibom State Education Officers Forum, led by the Permanent Secretary, State Secondary Education Board, Barrister Suko Salong, called on her. That's a package this morning. Thanks for your time. My name is Mercy Eke, and here's wishing you a beautiful day ahead. Good morning.